My name is Momodou Musa Joof. I come from the Gambia, West Africa, to attend to the International Takaful Summit held here in London annually. As a conventional practitioner in the past with 14 years working experience, I was privileged to travel to Malaysia to do a master's program in management. Each time I go into town from my university, I see this Minara Takaful, meaning the home of Takaful, and it was a big question to me as to what is Takaful. I was told Takaful is a system of insurance following Sharia principles, that's Islamic insurance. My first question was, what the hell is Islamic about insurance? Insurance is a business venture geared towards making profit, and this was challenged, and I had to request from my university to be sent to one of the Takaful companies to see how they operate. I was then sent to Takaful Malaysia, where I spent the whole of my vacation moving from one department to the other with a very critical and jealous mind coming from the conventional world to see what was hidden. At the end of the attachment program, I realized that Takaful was not only Sharia compliant or ethical as you may see it, but of the highest level of fairness in insurance business. So I felt this was too good to leave behind, coming from a country which is 95% Muslim. Gambia is 1.7 million, but 95% are Muslims, and I felt the model should be carried with me. So going back to the university, I requested that I be authorized to do my dissertation or research on Takaful. Under the supervision of Dr. Usman Jamil and Dr. Kamaruddin, I was able to write my dissertation on Takaful, and somewhere along the line, before completing this dissertation, my president, Professor Dr. Yahya Jammeh, visited Malaysia to attend to the OIC summit. I took advantage of his visit and visited him at his hotel, where he gave me a challenge to come back home, seeing the advance or the vast development of Malaysia, so that as a Gambian privilege to higher education, I should come back to contribute to nation development. I said to him, Your Excellency, this is a challenge and I want to give you a counter challenge. I found something on the ground which is too good to be left behind. We have an Islamic bank back home in Gambia with the laws for it to operate, but we don't have any Islamic insurance to complement the efforts of the bank. Here in Malaysia, I found various models of Takaful, and I'm doing a research on them, and I would want to establish a Takaful company coming back to the Gambia with his support if the laws are passed. He then promised me to do exactly as I requested if I come back home with everything relevant. He left me generously with a huge amount of money to support me financially whilst I was there, and this served as a motivation. And I went further, not only completing my dissertation, but proceeded to Bank Negara, Central Bank of Malaysia, to see how it is regulated. They were so generous and kind enough to have given me a copy of their regulations. So coming back home to the Gambia, a copy of the dissertation I wrote and the regulations were sent to His Excellency Dr. Yahya Jammeh, reminding him of his promise and informing him that I'm back home in March 2005. He became very proactive to his promise and set up a task force committee that reviewed the laws I brought and drafted one for Gambia. And before these draft laws were sent to cabinet for ministers to debate, I had personally taken it upon myself to have met about 90% of them, giving them a briefing as to how Takaful operates and how it was going to benefit our society. It went to the House of Parliament. Before it's presented to the House of Parliament for parliamentarians to debate on also, I took it upon myself to have audience with them and do a PowerPoint presentation. So the law was passed, the act was introduced to Parliament by Her Excellency the Vice President, Aissatou Sedi, in 2006, December. And it became law that Islamic insurance, Takaful, can operate in Gambia. Proudly we say this is the first country in West Africa that has passed the full act for Takaful to operate, whilst bigger countries or bigger neighboring countries are still considering or looking into it. So we started operations in January 2008, and since then, from 2009, we've been paying out the necessary zakat and sharing profit to our participants. We've already started enjoying the privileged position of being pioneers in West Africa, and some countries like Nigeria, Ghana, and some of the other neighboring countries are visiting our company on attachment to see how practically we operate. And this being the case, we are also having privileges of traveling to conduct seminars or to join neighboring countries who try to hold seminars on Islamic insurance, Takaful. And for all this to happen, we must remember that is because we have a very proactive government, and we thank the authorities of the day, especially the president who gave us a promise and gave us the necessary support to see the laws in place. And we would encourage the neighboring countries to work much faster to have Islamic insurance established as an alternative, not only for Muslims, but for people who are interested in doing insurance business. Takaful is just one of the virtues of Islam to mankind, and it doesn't necessarily call for Muslims' support. It is there for people who want to see fairness, where you insure your assets, your property, your vehicle, your liability, and at the end of the day, when there are no losses, your contribution is used for you to get some returns by way of profit, and also for the fund to help the needy by way of zakat, and also help the economy by way of surviving to their corporate social responsibility. It's good to have this conference also in the UK, bringing all the Takaful players together, where we discuss issues and the way forward to promoting Takaful so as to free the world from conventional practice, which is doing nothing but introducing world economic crisis. With Islamic banking and insurance, the fairness is such that we would have been free from all this trouble. So once again, we're very pleased to be here and very pleased to have left conventional practice and now be fully Islamic financing consultants.